Hey Cancer, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for September 26th, 2022. This is for Cancer, last shuffle for Cancer, and all Cancer placements. Also, I'd like for you to know this is going to be the last shuffle. Also, too, that I'm also on other platforms, so if this video goes over the allotted time for one platform, I'm also on another. So this is on YouTube as well, right? So we have Ascendant Masters, we have Hidden Motivations here. Now, there's a wisdom that you're applying, but you are not going to, I would say this, right? There may be a situation you're in, you can't show your hand kind of thing, but you know what's going on. You may have, you're waiting for, and I feel like the reason why you're like that is because you have to be defensive or you have to defend yourself against someone. You have to ignore something like a danger that you may feel. I won't say it's not like physical danger, but you may feel like I really can't let someone know the support or how many resources you actually have. The Ascendant Masters here is that you have Strength and Three of Wands. There's some kind of like something that's going to assist you. And now usually the Strength card a lot of times, okay, represents Leo, but it also is like about your support system within your community or within your space. It's also represented a lot of times, right? It's also about the like not ecosystem or such, but like your actual environment, the resources around you, like really paying attention to your environment kind of thing. But strength is also about holding back, and there's so many different explanations for what strength does. But when this combination comes together with Ascended Masters and Three of Wands, this would tell me that this is about and the Knight of Wands and the Devil, is that you are fixed on having success. So there's some things that you are like you're making moves and then you're waiting for results, but you're hiding this. So you have Queen of Swords and King of Cups. So it's like on the outskirts, you may look like you may have a lot of feelings, but you're not showing them. So you may be really, you could be a Gemini Cancer cusp. This looks like someone who has, they are deeply, there's something that you want, that you deeply love, or you deeply are connected to, even emotionally, but you have to cut that out so you could get something done. So this looks like ignoring things around you right now. You need to have a peace of mind, so you can't allow yourself to get emotional, although you do feel it, right? You do this, like if say on the outskirts you're acting like you may not tell people your entire business about what's going on with you, right? Which I mean, sometimes I mean it's necessary. There's not you can't be open and honest with every single person, even if you are that person. You know how some people you're like, everyone doesn't have the same heart as you. So with the hidden motivations aspect, you have on the outside, you're doing what you have to do. You may even be kind of like cutthroat, cold. People may be like, oh, wow, Cancer is like, doesn't care. Like you may have this face of like the resting face. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say, but you may have this face like the resting bee face, right? Like, you know what? Sure. You know what I mean? You may have that going on, but deep down you care deeply, but you can't show that right now. And I feel that you can't because you don't want to be stuck. You don't want to be in a place where you can't get out of the situation because now other people know what's going on. And once people get involved, it almost looks like your wisdom came from an energy of you telling people too much too quick, and then they started to get greedy, and then they started doing things, and then it ended up delaying your reward or whatever it was that you're trying to do. It delayed it because maybe they got greedy, right? And so, because that's the devil. The devil is addiction, greed, all of that stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that all the time, but that's about, I spoke too soon. This is the wisdom. I spoke too soon. I told my community, and now my stuff is halted. Now I'm waiting when I should have been able to go get it. And so you're going to have success this time because I think that you have the wisdom now to see that maybe it's time to hide what you're doing, right? And especially if it's very important to you. You're going to regret doing what you did before, speaking, telling people everything. Joyous fun with Justice and Four of Pentacles. The joyous fun aspect here would tell me that The energy you're coming with is like you're curbing your enthusiasm. You're keeping it under wraps. You're trying to make sure, like, you don't want to have, like, you don't, you, um, what is the word? Gosh, there's a phrase that just came to my head. You plan for the worst, but expect the best. Something like that. You plan against the worst or something. Wow, my throat just closed up out of nowhere. Excuse me. But joy's fun. Definitely, it looks like you are holding back because you don't want to have your heart too deeply into anything. You want to keep it open. You're open to whatever is being brought to you. You're open to whatever spirit feels is right for you. And so the joyous fun would be that, just that. Like, you may be having fun, but you're not showing it. It's so hard to describe, because this to me looks like someone who's just, you're like, what? But deep down you're just like, ah, poor thing. It's like funny to me because I know quite a few cancers, and one is very much so, she does that a lot. She's like, she always, when you approach her, she always gives you the worst, you know, response first, like, what? And deep down though, she's the most generous person. She'll give you the shirt off her back, but it's like you have to get through the pinchers first, the pincers, whatever. The vast universe, Nine of Swords and Two of Cups. So there's an energy of feeling worried about things coming together properly. Now, if you're in a union, worried about this union, the connection, feeling connected to this person. Is this part of my path? Kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. And it also feels as though too, the reason for the worry may be that you don't know everything. You don't feel like you know what's going on. You may feel ignored. You may feel like you're stuck in this situation. More than anything else, it's like you want it to be able to flow. And so you may be worried about what actually is going on, what's stopping the flow. Why is there a blockage? So it looks like there may be some sort of blockage in the flow of this relationship, the natural flow of a relationship that you may be in, as well. This looks like, and so this would you have a Senate Master's energy too, with all of this combined, is that maybe you're not going to have to, you shouldn't tell other people what's going on with the situation, but also not only that too, applying this to the whole, because what's kicking all of this off is the worry. You're having sleepless nights, feeling stuck though, having sleepless nights, wondering if you're sabotaging everything, wondering how things could ever come together, and but then also too, this looks like realizing or feeling as though something is missing. Like you may feel like you're being treated like an option. Like, this isn't a main thing. This is more so of like, they could take it or leave it, or you could take it or leave it. And that may be worrisome to you. That may be your reality, is that you look at the situation and go, I could actually walk away and be okay with this. And that's hurtful to feel that you're with someone like that, right? Everyone wants that love. It doesn't have to be your situation. It could be other cancers going through that. But everybody wants that kind of love that you're like, no, if I go, they go. If I jump, they jump, kind of thing. But this would be something where I jump. I don't care if they jump or not. I don't care. Or the other person feels that way about you. And that's hurtful to someone, that they're just an option. And so that's something there. It doesn't have to be, but it's also just about the worry about things coming together. All right. And then the joyous fun part is like you're curbing your enthusiasm. You don't want to just put too much energy into the too much optimism, which is rose-colored glasses, which could ultimately hurt you in the long run. So you could be dealing with a Libra, a Leo, a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, right? Golly. So also with this hidden motivations, just honestly, this means a lot, but it also is something that you're closing your heart off to if it's not what it needs to be. And this is about you being, this time keeping everything under wraps because you want success this time. It's like, nah, I'm not telling them, because it almost looks like too, you may have told somebody or told your person about what the problem is and they fixed it for that moment. And then they went right back to being who they were. And so you're like, no, this time I'm not telling them anything. Let's see if they'll make some changes. Because this is almost like a toxic cycle. I think you know that it's a toxic cycle as well. Like, you know that you may know this already, so now you're like, yeah, you know what? Wisdom tells me I need to keep it hush hush. I'm not going to rush to tell him anything. I'm not going to wait for any changes. I'm going to just keep everything under wraps and figure it out on my own. This is very interesting, Cancer. So if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.